Namaste. I am Gloria Grace, spiritual alignment coach who works with women entrepreneurs to clear the inner blocks, keeping you stuck so you can live the life you want now. And I am delighted to be here coming to you live today on various social media channels and also here for you who are listening on the audio um, replay of this, since it won't be live when it when it goes out onto Apple and all the other wonderful podcast platforms. So if this is your first time here, whether you are watching or listening, or you're a regular subscriber, whichever, I'm just glad you're here, and I'm so happy to be able to share with you today's topic, which is about aligning to your higher self and how that actually helps you in business to be a better marketer. And I can speak to this with authority because I have seen it happen in my life. And that's why I wanted to talk to you about this, because it is something that I've been in business. Let's just say I've been in business, number one, since 2009. And I've had a measure of success along the way, and yet there were times that things weren't going quite as well as I would like them to be. And here's what I want to say first off, because I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what it looks like to not be in alignment with your higher self, to be out of spiritual alignment. And here's the thing is that you can go in and out of it because, like so many things in life, life is a journey. And there may be times in your life where you are aligned, and there are times going to be times in your life when you're not, when things aren't flowing as well. So let's talk about this a little bit more. So let me talk about this and share with you. So what does it look like when you're not aligned with your higher self, with God? I like to say God, but for those of you who aren't comfortable with that word, substitute whatever word you want, whether it is universe, whether it is source, or higher self, whichever. But when you're not in align with that, or even just let's say really what it comes down to is your soul's purpose. When you're not in alignment with what your soul wants for you, then you may be frustrated. You may be impatient. You may possibly even be physically sick. Uh, Things don't come easy for you. You are struggling, or maybe you're just going through the motions, trying different things to see what sticks, for instance. So, how this looked for me in my life was a little bit of the above, I would say. And and again, when I first started my business, as anyone who has started a business knows, it's a learning process to be able to figure out all the different things you need to do to, whether you're selling a product or whether you're selling a service. There's a lot that goes on to learning how to market, how to sell, how to speak about what you do. Yeah, I had to pause there for a moment because I'm thinking, okay, how do I want to say this? Yeah, and it was. I remember the first time I went to a networking meeting, and you had to stand up and give your 30-second elevator pitch, which is basically a short description of who you are, what you do, who you serve, so that you can get people curious and want to talk to you more. And perhaps maybe they might either turn into a potential client, or they may know someone who would be. They could be a good referral for you. And I was scared, definitely the first time I did that. But I got more comfortable as time went on, and I did it more often, and I was growing. My business at the time was SEO, copywriting, so search engine optimization, helping businesses get their websites found on Google and helping them with their copy for their website, using the right keywords, all that fun stuff. And and as I was doing that, sometimes I would have people come to me and they wanted help with social media. So I started evolving into offering social media marketing. And then I, w- I started doing presentations. And so I would talk to people about blogging and about social media and all these wonderful things. And some of it came easy to me and some of it was not. And as time went on and things happened in my life, I would say the one of the things that was helping me at that time to be in alignment was the fact that I started a meditation practice the same time I started my business pretty much, and that helped me a lot. And what happened next though was, as those of you who have been longtime listeners of the program, you probably know that I've talked about losing my sister. My older sister had developed cancer in 2015. She transitioned 18 months later. And that really sent me out of alignment, I would say, because it was a huge loss for me not having someone there. And someone who was my cheerleader, my best friend. And that's what happens sometimes is that is how we can then lose faith in God, essentially, because when a major event like that happens, a major loss in our lives, and you feel disconnected. And I did feel alone. I felt alone, even though I'd always been, I always believed in God. I wasn't necessarily a very good Catholic because I was raised Catholic, but I always did feel close to God. But when I lost my sister, then I didn't feel that connection. And so what happened then in my business, what happened was for someone who had been a regular blogger, what every week I would publish at least one article to promote my business. I was posting regularly on social media. I was sending out regular emails to my list every week. When this major event happened in my life, I didn't want to do that anymore. I lost interest in my business. I wasn't even sure I wanted to continue doing copywriting at the time. And in fact, I was in a program right then to learn how to run a mastermind. And I was trying to figure out, okay, well, what kind of mastermind do I run? Do I run one about copywriting? And it was like my heart was just not in it at that time. And so I had to figure out how to get through it. I had to figure out what to do to be able to turn my life around and to start getting back into alignment. And I was just looking at the time right now and it's 11:11. I love those kind of angel numbers when they pop up. And so I was still meditating and that definitely was helping, but I needed to do other things. And so I tried a variety of different things. Well, one of the benefits of being in that program to learn how to do meditation, I'm sorry, to learn how to run a mastermind was they offered some personal development workshops because they knew the people running it knew that it's very important for you to be really in touch with who you are, because if you're going to be leading another group of people, you really have to have a strong foundation yourself. And so some of those events that I did really helped me a lot. We did some good work and being able to release some of the things that were holding me back, releasing limiting beliefs, being able to forgive my parents for things that they had done, being able to come to an understanding that they did the best they could raising me, like we all do. We all make mistakes as parents, and we do the best we can with the knowledge that we have at the time. A little aside there. So I was doing that. I was also doing things like I did some theta healing work with a lovely woman who offered she was a theta healing practitioner. I did some of that. I did I know there's other things. I was working with I was going to I was attending a wise women's circle every week, though it's hosted by a lovely woman who's an angel practitioner, and in fact, I did a session with her as well. So lots of different things, and then finally, I was also had the blessing to be exposed to someone channeling light language, and which I'll share with you at the end of this broadcast today, because light language really helped me a lot when I eventually started to learn how to channel it myself. Between that and also getting into journaling, all these different things started helping me to reconnect with myself. So it is, and that's what the higher self is. The higher self is you. It is that higher part of you that, again, I believe is connected directly with God. It's your soul or your spirit. It's it's that part of you that is love, that is true love and is it's love. Yeah. It's love. And as I started being able to going through doing all these practices, I started one of the things I also did was start doing a gratitude practice, a gratitude journal I would keep. And I started feeling better. I really did. I started feeling connected. I was connected to source, God again, felt a lot of started feeling a lot of peace in my life. And I began one of the other things I was doing was working with a coach who is a really amazing money manifester. And so in going through her program, I began manifesting wonderful things. Now, not millions of dollars, because I still had some work to do on myself. And I still was able to manifest money. I was able to manifest relationships, was opportunities that would come my way, speaking opportunities, all of these wonderful things. And now here's the really key part, because I said at the beginning, this was how does aligning to your higher self help you be a better marketer? Well, what it did for me is it helped me to be able to create social media posts more easily. I was able to do I started this podcast at the end of 2019 for one thing. I was able to just be able to speak about these issues, speak about spirituality with ease, really, with ease, because I'm not alone. I am connected to source and God is speaking through me. And that's such a wonderful feeling when you know that you're not alone. As if you remember, I said after my sister passed that I felt really alone. Well, I don't have that feeling anymore. I am connected to source, and I'm also connected to all of you, every one of you who are listening and watching this, because that is what I believe is that we are all as human beings, because we have all been created in God's image and we are essentially part of God. That means we're all connected. We are all part of God. So we are one. And the other thing that I noticed as a copywriter for many, many years, I always I once I learned my trade and I practiced, I found it very easy to be able to write for other people. But writing my own content for my website, that was more challenging. And part of it was because even after I'd been working with lots of different clients, dozens of clients over the years and helping them get really good results, I still didn't value my worth. And that was where the other thing that helped me, which I didn't mention, was receiving that divine download shortly before my sister passed of the love method that I wrote about in my book, Live, Love, Engage. Because the V is to value Love is an acronym, and the V in love stands for value your uniqueness. And so I would have trouble still, even just a couple years ago, expressing what it was I did and how I helped people, even still in a networking situation, or as I said, in writing it on my website. But in the now within the last couple of years where I really have just deepened that connection with source, oh, I'm able to write. I'm able to speak about what it is I do and who it is I help. It's getting so much easier every day. Every day it's just getting better and better and better. And I spoke about on another episode earlier, a couple weeks ago, maybe, about my word of the year being clarity. It is, and it's clarity has been happening for me over the last few years, and I think that's what spiritual alignment really helps you with. Being aligned helps you with clarity of speech, clarity of the written word, so that you can show up in your business, show up online, whether you're promoting yourself on LinkedIn or Facebook or doing videos, doing reels, podcasting, all the different ways that we have to be able to promote ourselves, sending out emails, all these different things. When you are aligned with your higher self, all of that stuff is just so much easier to do because, oh, yeah, I just got this big hit. You're not trying to be like everybody else. This is the big thing. When you're out of alignment, sometimes, I would say a lot of times, you're caring too much about what other people think about you. But when you are in alignment, that it doesn't matter anymore because all that matters to you is that you are being true to who you are and that you're being true to God. And as long as you know that you're doing that, then you can speak your truth and you can accept the fact that some people will like it and some people won't. That's it, you know? Some people will resonate with you and others won't. And that's a good thing too, because you don't want to do business with people who aren't interested in you. You're going to be fighting it all the time. So if you can just show up as yourself and be who you are in all of the ways that you are, the good, the bad, the ugly, it all makes up who we are. And not to be not afraid. I had this song going through my head this morning when I was meditating. Be not afraid. I go before you always. Come follow me, and I will give you strength. I think that's the right word. I wasn't sure about that, but it is true, is that God is with us, and I can be authentic. You can be authentic. You can show up as who you are, and you will attract the people that you are meant to serve. That's what it's all about. It's about being there to attract the people you're meant to serve. So, whew, wow. I hope I hope this helps you today. I hope you see the importance of that. Oh, you know what? I didn't. Well, yes, I think I did share some of the ways. Let me repeat that. Some of the ways that will help you if you feel that you're out of alignment. So I would do things like meditate, journal about it, pray if you are someone who likes to pray, and also reach out to other people. Reach out to people who are available, like counselors, therapists, coaches. Reach out to me if you want some support. This is what I know that I am here to do, is to help people to be in spiritual alignment. That's why I'm now claiming that I'm a spiritual alignment coach, because what I've learned, and I'm not throwing out all of my SEO copywriting background, because when you are in alignment with your higher self, you may still need a little support with the copywriting, and I can help with that too. Or I can certainly give you some pointers on how best to use your message on the different platforms because I've been doing that for over a decade now. So I'm going to put this up on for those of you who are watching today that if you want to talk with me, if you would like some more guidance in this uh, topic about being aligned so that you can promote yourself better, I encourage you to go to engagewithgloria.com and schedule a call. It's a free call. We'll talk. That link takes you right to my calendar page where you can schedule an appointment and let's have a chat and see how I might be able to serve and support you. Now, for those of you who are regular listeners or watchers, you know that I always love to share one of the other tools that I have used to help me become more aligned spiritually is reading the daily word from Unity. And I love to share these messages on the podcast. So I found one today from January 12th, 2018, and the word was align. And the affirmation is I relinquish my concerns to the serenity of spirit within. So let me say that again. So I think that's a good affirmation that you can repeat to yourself. I relinquish my concerns to the serenity of spirit within. And then the reading says, if I feel stressed or rushed, I might seem out of alignment, off center from my source. Yet, this is the furthest thing from the truth. Either I am failing to see the good that is present, or I am allowing myself to become distracted from my spiritual purpose. Faith provides the answer. The realization that within me are love, creativity, strength, and understanding, gifts that are with me always. I am blessed with an inner knowing that leads me to my answers. My next steps become clear. I align with my divine essence as I pause, breathe, and appreciate the life I have been given and the abilities I have to do what I need to do. I relinquish my concerns to the serenity of spirit within. And the scripture reading is from Romans 8:28. We know that all things work together for good for those who love God, who are called according to his purpose. And I realized I forgot when I was looking at this daily word earlier, one of the things they mentioned is the fact that if you feel like you're out of alignment with source, you're actually not. You are always aligned with source. It's just you don't see it. That's the thing. And I apologize for not mentioning that earlier. You are always aligned. It's just you either don't see it or you're distracted. And things happen in our lives that can distract us. As I said, like losing my sister, that was a big distraction for me. And I wasn't able to see for a while. It took me a while to get back in gear and to realize that, yes, I am connected. So know that even if life is icky for you at the moment, something may be happening where you are feeling frustrated or you're struggling. Know that this too shall pass. And you have tools available that can help you to get back on track. You think about it, when you have a car, your car still drives when it's out of alignment, when the tires, are out, it'll still drive, but it doesn't drive as well. It's like I've had a car one time where you'd be driving straight. If you let go of the wheel and it was like, it would start drifting to the right. That's when you know your car is out of alignment, folks, and you have to fix it. So the car is still a good car. We are still good people. Even if we are out of alignment, we're still connected to source. We just have to correct. We just have to do the things we need to do. We need to take ourselves in for a spiritual tune up and get realigned. And then, oh, so many miracles can happen in your life when that happens. Wow. I I didn't realize today was going to be so much, but I hope you receive some benefit out of it. So one last thing I want to share with you today before I close out this episode is my favorite spiritual tool. And right now, I have lots of them, but it really is the one that I found that has continues to help me, and it has helped my clients as well. And I love sharing it with you. And I hope when you receive this message today that you receive it with the love that it was intended, and to know that you are not alone, that God is with you or your higher self. If for some reason you are an atheist and you're listening to this, I bless you and invite you to connect with your higher self. You know that there's something in you that is thinking, so just connect with that. And for those of you who are first timers and you're like, what is light language? What are you talking about? Well, light language is a method of communication that speaks to your soul. I receive these messages from the higher realms. It's something that your brain will not necessarily understand, and it may try to translate it. Some people who are really spiritually aligned actually can translate it, but just know that the words that come through, sometimes it's song that comes through, just know that it's a message that your soul will understand. And because I've been told that it's the language we spoke before we came into these bodies, because our soul is eternal. Our soul is eternal. And so we come here into these human bodies, this human form to live. And then after we're gone, I don't know exactly where we go, but I trust that we're on some other wonderful adventure. So if you are listening to this somewhere where you are driving a car, I would encourage you to come back and listen to this podcast later when you can listen to this message, because I find it's much better if you can listen where you're not distracted by anything else, where you can just listen with an open heart and maybe even close your eyes and just let whatever comes through wash over you. So, without further ado, I'm going to ask for messages to come through that will be for everyone's higher good today, for anyone out there who is feeling a little disconnected from source, to help you to remember that you are connected and that you are love and you are light and you have everything you need is available right within you. Aoki hahu hayoto yake ahuyato hekohe ayo yakaoye ohusiko hikohe aoki kohe kohuyahe akayo hoheha asoka hoyamiohe okika sahoyatohe hoya hoha sahoki hohe hosai Osio koya tohe akoya hiko. Hoyakat kayonaya nuko. Akika hoyano he. Hosi akohu. Hoyaka hohayahu. Hoyata hulyato heka. Asigo hakalelolya tolya lyoto hey hoya hasi hoi ho asohu hoya kohu ho so Thank you for watching today. Thank you for listening today. Thank you for being part of my tribe. I am so blessed to have you here, and I so appreciate all of the wonderful people who leave reviews on Apple and on Podchaser. You light my life with that, and I'm going to make a mental note that next week I'm going to do some. I want to start doing some shout outs, so I have to make a mental note to look that information up before I go on the air to do these. So thank you again. If you are not subscribed, I encourage you to subscribe and be well. Be well. And as always, I do encourage you also to go out today and every day and live fully, love deeply, and engage authentically.